probably watching this because you're confused about protein. Well, by the end of this video, you're not going to be anymore. So building muscle size and strength, losing body fat, overall health, longevity, protein is super important for all of this. So you probably heard on the internet, from your friends, from your family, from your doctor, that you should be taking in some more protein than you are. Protein is good for you. But why is it good for you, and how much should you be taking? Now let's start with building muscle. So everyone knows that protein is good for building muscle, but why is that? And the reason is, I'm going to try and put this as simply as possible. Think about when you're in the gym. People think when they're in the gym, they're building muscle, but they're not. You're actually breaking muscle tissue down when you work out, and that muscle tissue has to be repaired properly to get bigger and stronger later on. Now, what's happening when you're damaging that muscle tissue in the gym, and it's good damage, it's damage that you want, micro tears in the muscle that create that response, that tell your body to repair bigger and stronger. That process of the damage is called muscle protein breakdown. Now, think of it like this. Tiny pieces of your muscle are being broken down into protein or amino acids, which is the building blocks of protein, and that damage has to be repaired in order to build bigger and stronger. Because actually, if you just left it and you didn't consume enough protein, didn't get enough rest, etc., that actually you'd be making yourself weaker over time, because those small degradations in the gym that you're making, if you're not making up for it and repairing, then you're actually going to get weaker. You're going to dig yourself a hole. So what do? We eat protein, your body breaks that down into amino acids, and some of that goes into the muscle for repair. Now, first of all, your body's going to prioritize repairing some of that damage that occurred during the gym. And if there's enough protein or amino acids left over, then you're going to repair bigger and stronger. Now, this process is called muscle protein synthesis. Okay, so now we know why protein is so important for building new muscle and strength, but what about maintaining muscle for someone that's older, doesn't necessarily want to build new muscle? And resistance training is always going to be good. I think you always are going to want to, for longevity and health, be trying to build muscle, or at least maintain it as much as possible. The protein is going to be important for maintaining muscle, even if you're not creating that damage in the gym. As we get older, muscle protein breakdown occurs more anyway, whether we're training or not, and so the protein requirements are going to go up. Now, how much protein should you be getting per day? I've got a simple calculation for you, whether you're trying to build muscle, maintain muscle, if you're trying to lose body fat, somewhere between 1.8 and 2.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight that you weigh. So what you want to do is, first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, weigh yourself, take your body weight in kilos. And for most people, you're going to want to multiply that by 2. So for example, if you're 100 kilos, 200 grams of protein, nice and easy. If you're a little bit overweight, if you carry more body fat than you perhaps want, then you can lower that down a little bit to 1.8, because obviously not all of that weight is active tissue. You don't need as much protein. If you're trying to gain weight, then you might want to bump that up again to maybe 2.2. So now I'm going to explain to you why protein is even important for losing weight, losing fat. Think about any kind of popular diet model: carnivore, keto, paleo, low carb, low fat. What do they all have in common? It's not what they're missing, it's the protein. Every one of those is high in protein. Now, there's a few reasons why protein is so helpful in losing fat. First of all, if it's promoting more muscle to be on your frame, then you're raising your metabolism by having more muscle. It's more active tissue, it burns more calories. Secondly, protein's just more satiating, so it fills you up more than carbohydrates. Fats are pretty satiating as well, but for most people, they find that a protein-based meal is going to keep them fuller for longer, and therefore less inclined to overeat, less inclined to snack. The protein also has what we call a higher thermic effect, or thermic effect of feeding, where just taking in that protein and your body breaking it down will burn a few extra calories anyway. Now, this part's only very small, it's the cherry on the top, but it does factor in. So you take all of those things combined, you're less hungry because protein is going to satiate you. You can burn more calories just at rest because you have more muscle in your frame. Because you have more muscle on your frame, you can burn more calories during exercise because you're stronger, you can lift more weight, you perhaps have more endurance, more muscular endurance. This is a recipe for great fat loss. So hopefully you understand now why protein is so important. If you're curious about how to set up the rest of your diet, go and watch my video on how to calculate your macros, so protein, carbs, and fats. And if you're really serious about building muscle and losing fat, you can go to themusclearchitect.com and get a fully custom training and diet plan from me to get as much progress as possible. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, do all the nice YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.